The last time you saw me may have been when I videoed myself going back to my childhood home that was haunted for the first time in around about 12 years. The reason why it was a little bit monumental for me is because I'm a psychic medium now. And while I was living there from the age of 0 all up until 18, I didn't know that I was psychic. I thought that I was seeing spirits or having psychic experiences, but never did I think that I would actually be a medium. When I returned, I was able to connect with a little girl. It's interesting, I'm seeing the number 14, 1-4 come up in my mind's eye just as I start to talk about her. But I had a little girl called Amy come through to me, and I saw how she passed and the aftermath after that, and I asked for a sign of a porcupine, that everything that I saw was actually true. And I put me getting a little sign at the end of the video, and I don't know, I'm still unsure if it counts, but it was a pretty big one. So I think I'd be doing myself and Amy a disservice if I didn't believe what came through that day for the porcupine. And I still think that porcupine was a sign. I still think calling my cat Porcupine out of nowhere, I felt like that was a sign. So what are we doing here today? I'm going to delve in a little bit further. I've got my laptop to the right, and I've got images of my childhood home that I've decided to tune into and see what can come through. Even just as I'm talking about it, I have a little bit of a sore heart. I don't really like where I'm situated either. I'll go through and show you those photos in a minute. It's very different having them up on my laptop screen as opposed to just looking at them on my phone. They're affecting me a lot more than they had been. I'd just been looking at them on my phone and I didn't feel much of a connection to them, but at the moment I'm looking at a photo of the lounge, and there's a bit of a doorway, and then a little bit further in the foreground is my bedroom, and I can see my bed. And that doorway and that hallway and that lounge is pretty much where most of my psychic experiences or psychic encounters happened. So it almost feels like I'm right back there. Is it weird that I miss it? I know I shouldn't miss it, but I really do. Now, my mum watched my last video and she has a few things that she'd like to add. Apparently, from up until I was around about 3 years old, I refused to go by the pool. If my mum or dad tried to put me in there, I would scream and cry, to the point where my nana made a comment saying that I'm a very easy baby to babysit because they don't have to worry about me around the pool. And for context, my dad was a long-distance swimmer, long-distance ocean swimmer. So swimming was a big thing for our family, and I made it easy on everyone, apparently. My mum also had a recurring dream while living in that house of swimming in that pool and having, almost like having someone pull back on her hair and pull her down and down and down into the surface, and she felt like she couldn't get up to the surface. So she told me that the day after I had been to see that house. I don't know if I told you guys that part. She also said that in terms of the running up and down the hallway that she would hear with my dad late at night, my auntie was also over one night. She also heard the running up and down the hallway. She said that when they'd hear it, it's almost like they'd sit and wait for one of my sisters to just come through the door because they thought they'd gotten out of bed and were coming to say hi, but it just never happened. And so they'd just sort of look at each other as if, what's going on? I think that's all the updates I need to give you. That means it's time to tune in. Oh, No, it's not. I'll show you all the photos that I have here to tune into. So let's have a look. So going by what's to the right of me right now, I have that first photo that I'm looking at, which is our lounge area behind the big splodge, which is me trying to cover up photos of my sisters and I and family, friends and things. We've got a piano there, and so if you're looking straight at the photo, you'll have the doorway with my bedroom in the middle. To the right of that, you can almost see the end of a couch, and next to that couch, or behind that couch I should say, were windows with white roses in them, and that's where I saw my grandmother that died before I was born in those roses. I'll just get that photo up from the other side of the house. So here's a photo here where you can see those roses, but from the outside as opposed to inside looking out. My parents really kept a beautiful garden. From that first photo that we saw in that lounge, if you were to go behind that lounge, you'd be looking at this archway that I've got here. That was our dining area, and then beyond that was our living area where we had couches and the TV and the kitchen and that kind of thing. So we were all stuck. We were all kept together in pretty close quarters. And looking at it now, I'm just like, this is my kind of dream home. Looking at it then, it was a terrifying home. I remember being in the family room with the TV, and at night there were these big windows in that room as well, and if we hadn't put the curtains down, I'd be really scared to look across and see my reflection in those windows. I'd always think that I'd see something behind me or see something out. I just remembered something as well that happened to me in that house. So when I was a little bit older, say 16 to 17, I'd have little things happen, like I'd go and open the curtains in that family room and then 5 minutes come back and they were back down. Or I'd go into the kitchen and there'd be a cupboard door open that no one had opened and I hadn't been there. So just like little things like that, but they're not that wild these days. I'm just going to show you another photo of that lounge area here with my bedroom and bed in the background, and then you can see the little window with the roses, which is where I saw my grandmother's face. And from there we go to the pool. We've got about 3 photos here. The area that I saw Amy possibly fall and hit her head was at the back of the pool. So the pool was sort of shaped like a peanut, and it was almost in the area of that white planter to the right. It was back at the back of the pool there. Now I also have some photos. Weirdly, Mum was like, who got an underwater camera for Christmas that year? We have some photos of the underwater of the pool. And I asked Mum if the water would have changed from the owners having the house and us, and she said not completely. So, if I'm brave enough. So we've got a few photos here to tune into. We'll see what comes through. I'm just going to go in blind without much thought. And what else would I like to say? I can't remember if I said this in my last video, but I really felt like there was a period after she was found and she was possibly put in that shower bath area to try and warm her up. I wondered if the heavy boots that I was hearing go up and down the garage one day, if maybe that was like people coming to help. I'm not too sure. Anyway, I'll get into it. I'll have the little photo up of the photo I'm tuning into as I'm tuning in. I think I'm just going to focus on the pool area. And I will start. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to use or you'd like me to tune into and ask those questions, just put them in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Just taking a breather. Archangel Michael, please protect me. I can already see her. She is sitting beside me and she has the biggest smile on her face. She just put her head on my shoulder and gave me a hug. Oh, honey. She just said, I like your cat. She's at the vet at the moment. She's pretty sick. She's saying she's going to show me everything that happened. So she's pointing to the photo that I have up on my screen at the moment, which is actually us in the middle of a pool party, I think. It would have been one of our birthdays. Oh, and I have to say, someone asked if we had a fence around the pool. In New Zealand, you have to have a fence legally. You can see it in the background of this photo. However, there was an access like through a sliding door to sort of like a laundry area downstairs that wasn't fenced off. And I know that after my parents sold this house when I was 18, I think new regulations had come in and people would have to put in a more sturdy fence. She's pointing around the perimeter of this pool and she's pointing to that second planter. She's actually showing me walking backwards. Did you fall backwards? I'm just feeling like I can see that blue and white, either uniform or clothes that she was wearing, and I'm just feeling very pulled down by what I'm wearing, and it's like I'm falling back and just trying to come up. Honey, are you okay if I tune into this photo now? She's saying yes, but can I talk you through it? She's saying those flowers weren't there. She's pointing to little yellow flowers. I'm seeing her in my mind's eye patting my childhood cat, which is really funny because I've started having a cat come through to me, and I've never had animals come through to me ever. But I've started having one sort of jump onto my bed at night, and I just thought that it was my cat. I'll put a little video up of what I've been experiencing with that. I'll do that now. I've never been able to see animal spirits. I've only been able to see spirits of people that have been alive. Bear with me, just woke up. But something just happened, and I thought that what has been happening was all in my head, but then it just happened to my partner as well. So I'm going to share. For the last 2 nights, I have been trying to get to sleep at night. My partner's already been asleep, and my cat has been like sleeping kind of near my shins on the bed, and then she'd like hop off the bed and go into a little spot on the floor that she loves. And then about 5 minutes later, I'd just feel this like on the bed in between my partner's feet and my feet. And so I put my head up because I think like, oh, the cat's come on the bed, and nothing's there. And that's happened last night and the night before, okay?
wake up this morning and my partner and I are just talking to each other. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and then in the corner of my eye, sounds so crazy, in the corner of my eye, I've got like the bedroom door in my peripheral vision, and the door is open, and right at the door handle I see like this big, this teeny tiny face of like a ginger kitten. And right as I see that, so I've got sleep in my eyes, right as I saw that, my partner popped his little head up and he said, I swear I just felt Rue jump up on the bed at the same time, right? Now, what's weird about this for me is because I don't see spirits in the flesh. I see them in my mind's eye, as if you were to remember what you were doing this morning, how you got up, went to work, or if it's a weekend, how you got up, went out for coffee. If you're picturing that in your mind, that's where I see spirits, or they just jump in, show me things about themselves. I'm just like, okay, this isn't my memory or something I've ever experienced. This is foreign information. But when I saw this little kitten on my door handle, it wasn't in my mind's eye. It was as if there was a tiny little face there looking at me. But when I was a kid, the first 3 or 4 times I saw spirits, it was in the flesh. It was like someone was standing at the end of my bed. It was like I could see my granddad in the garden at their house. And it's only sort of since my clairvoyance and clairaudience have developed that like I don't see things that way anymore. So I don't know what the moral of the story is, but I think I may have seen the spirit of a little kitten. I'm this close to texting Rue's breeder to see if she had any litter mates that may have passed away. Or the cat very much did look like the cat we had growing up called Zabo, who was a ginger cat. But like, he was very much a tomcat. He prowled around outside. He wasn't that playful. So I don't know if he would have ever jumped up onto the bed.
I realised after posting that video that that cat, Zabo, is buried at that house. He's buried just behind that gate there. So I'm seeing her patting Zabo in my mind's eye. She's saying I played with him a lot. She's saying I sat with him outside. He kept me warm. Okay, let's tune in now. Okay. How do I describe this? The first thing I heard was screaming, screaming out for a child, and I was taken to that scene in Home Alone where Catherine O'Hara screams, "Kevin!" It's like I was seeing that scene, and after that, it's like I'm hearing an alarm. This is making me really emotional. It's like I'm hearing an alarm in my mind's ear, which is just bah, 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 and it's really loud. I don't know why that just gave me chills. I'm now seeing like almost like a silver coffin, and a woman who kind of looks like Catherine O'Hara in that movie from behind, leaning over it and crying. I'm now seeing that same woman sitting down on the floor, sort of like how I am right now, and just staring into space as if that's all she's doing. I'm seeing her do like a little dancing routine around that area of the pool. I don't know though if that's her and something she was doing, or if she's showing sort of something that my sisters and I would have done, because we were all dancers. We would always be dancing. I'm hearing that song, which is weird because it wouldn't be in the right time period, but Perfect Exceeder, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like she's showing me almost like a little aerobics routine with it. I just heard the pool gate open and shut, and I heard a male voice say, okay, what do we have here? And I'm seeing men in like grey suits just looking around the pool, just surveying it. They could be real estate agents. Might tune into a photo of the water now. I just heard, don't do that, don't do that, you don't want to do that. Just once, sweetie. I'm just hearing, I didn't float. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm seeing a struggle. So I don't like that. Where else should I tune in, honey? She just said the ducks. So there's a photo here with ducks in our pool. She's saying that's a better angle. Also need to say that there are leaves collected in a spot in the bottom of the pool, and it's just reminding me that leaves would get stuck in that one spot, and it's a bit of a coincidence because it's sort of the area where I see her. Now I'm seeing a woman up in the kitchen, which is on the second level, looking down onto the pool, and I'm seeing she's getting dinner ready. She's looking behind her. It's time to come inside. It's time to come inside. She sees her from that top, and she runs downstairs. And she's screaming. I'm seeing her in the pool, like walking to try and get her. Telling someone else to stand back, maybe another child. I've got a bit of a headache. I'm just seeing the mum pat her hair like this, the child's hair, and saying, shh, it's okay, it's okay. And as I'm seeing that, I'm seeing Amy, if it is Amy, sitting next to me, and she's closing her eyes. She doesn't like to see this part. She's just saying, I didn't mean to do it. I know. She's saying, I broke my family. They were never the same. She's saying, they don't talk about me. It's big taboo. They don't talk about me. She's showing me in my mind's eye a collage of times where I've been in the pool, of me like sitting on the side with my legs dangling in, of me, so I don't know if you can see from the photo, but the tiles that were sort of the outline of the pool were like these tiny little pebbles, and every pebble was different, and my sisters and I would walk around the perimeter and pick our favourite little tiny pebbles. She's showing me doing that, and she's showing me on this big butterfly pool toy that we got one year for Christmas. I don't know what to do now. I have looked up the previous owners because there was only one owner before my parents. I went on the New Zealand Lands Register and found the original contracts, and so I know their names. I've gone through death records in New Zealand, but you can't go back before 1996 or something like that. This was long before then. I was born in 1993. I think all I want to ask you, Amy, is like, what can I do? Like, do you want to move on, or do you want to stick around? She's just got her arms around me, and they're like two on my shoulder up here. She's saying, I just want to stay with you. She's saying, you're the only one that sees me. I'm not. My whole family saw you. She's saying, you're the only one that talks to me. Feeling really guilty because my whole teenagehood that she came through to me, I hated it. I'd smack her hand away if that was her tickling my face. I would try and do whatever I could to drown out whatever I was hearing her say in my mind's ear. She's saying, just let me stick by you, let me protect you and your family. I don't deserve that. She's saying, please, please, I don't feel like I deserve that. She's just saying it's what I want to do. I just have this feeling that she doesn't want to move on. She doesn't want to leave her mum. I think she wants to be there for her mum. Or it's like her guilt is holding her back. I don't know. Is it Amy's guilt for what happened? Yeah, she just burrowed her head in my side and went like this. She's saying, can I just stay here? Yeah. You can. Do you want to come with me to the vet to pick up my cat? She's doing this. I think I might leave it there for today. I'll just keep her close to me. I'll talk to her. If you have any questions that you'd like me to ask her, or if there are any photos you'd like me to tune into. I don't know if you want me to tune into the photos where I saw my grandmother that had passed away. To me, I feel like the experiences that my family and I had are like sorted into two piles. We've got the side with Amy and everything that happened there, and then we've got the times I saw my grandma that passed before I was born. So I don't know if that's something you want me to delve into. I've talked to her a lot since. She was actually the first spirit that came through to me clairaudiently through automatic writing when I first started developing my abilities. So it's not like I haven't spoken to her since then. We have a very close relationship now. You tell me. I just really want to thank you guys for being here. I know this isn't an easy watch. I think it's going to stick with me for a little bit. Thank you for allowing me to have some time between each video as well, so that I can get myself back to normal in between. But this is a bit rough. I'll see what you guys want, because hey, I'm the one trying to grow my YouTube. So if you want me to tune in again, I will. If you'd like me to do a house reading on here instead, I mean, I will be doing those soon anyway, but I'll take your lead. Thank you so much for being here. And if you like, you can do what my mum does, which is just play this in the background with no sound on, so that my watch hours go up. She literally, I'll actually show you a screenshot. She's shown me her putting my YouTube on the TV, and she just puts it on the TV so that it can just roll and roll and roll and roll. So thank you guys, and thank you, Amy, for being here. She's just holding on to me, hey. She's just saying you've never been alone, which is something, until I was about 24, I always felt an extremely deep loneliness. And that's what she's alluding to. She's like, you've never been alone. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.